going to be a very high percentage mover, up or down. So we got about 3.5 minutes here until the open. 1,000 calls on Netflix expiring this week is what I'm looking at. We got about 11,000 open interest, which I think is good. I do have to get out of here somewhat earlier today. Just FYI. So ideally we can get a little something here early and move on. But it's been a good week so far. So there's no reason to blow that up. Everyone on the same page? We good? Yeah, Microsoft's ugly. It's one of the only ones that didn't recover at all. Looking at Netflix, 1,000 calls, Farouk. Big candle on what? Tesla did just pop a little bit. Yeah, so just keeping it. Tesla's kind of popping at 410. I mean, I do want to focus on Tesla and Meta, but to me, it's Tesla's not really at a spot that I love that much. But so I mean, I'm not like super anxious to try to find a trade on that. Meta's up near all-time highs as well, but that's just kind of been sporadic. So my Netflix chart isn't moving, but we'll see. Ethan, why are you playing Netflix? Pretty simple here. Just like an all-time high break. It's kind of had good earnings. It's coiled up here above 990. To me, gets this moving up to 1,000. Break 1,000. That's all-time highs. That's kind of where you can get a move there. You see, we've kind of rejected around this 990 level 2 times. Yeah, ideally, I want to be in just right before 990. And then see if this could, really catch some volume and move for 1,000. That's going to be my trade. All right, guys, about 20 seconds here. If we miss this, we miss this. To me, this isn't a trade that I'm like going to be all mad if we miss it right now. But I do like where this is sitting. So 5 seconds. Contracts for about 3. Little pullback on that. Low volume here, 42,000. I want to see at least 50,000 volume. If there's no volume, there's no trade on this. Pretty simple. Google going for 200. I'm going to wait for 202 on Google. Just FYI. Netflix trying to get bought up here. We're seeing SPY make new highs in the day. And Q getting bought up here. There's a little wall sitting at 990. So I'm going to, ideally my entry is going to be around like, 988-ish, 989. Especially if there's some strong buying pressure here into the high of the day right now at 987. I'm not dip buying this. I'm not doing anything like that. This needs to prove to me that there's volume and buying pressure before I even consider it. So very easy to tell. That's one thing I do like about Netflix is you just sit back and wait. If there's no volume, then there's not going to be a trade there. It's easy to tell if this is going to be something that you could get in or not. And right now, you can just tell. Typically, the first few minutes, guys, have a ton of volume, move very clean. This is chopping, low volume. I don't like it. I think the odds are coming down pretty fast that we're not going to trade this. Tesla sitting 409. Google did pretty well here off the open. See, NVIDIA's holding 123. I thought NVIDIA would be up a little bit this morning, which I don't love that it's not, but we'll see what happens. Netflix is kind of basing out here. Again, the biggest tell for me is volume. If this even comes up to this high of the day and there's no volume, I'm not getting in the trade. Very, very simple. Apple back to 240. Meta not doing much, kind of pulling back. Opened right under 700, which is pretty crazy. AMD's filling the gap. Okay. Netflix kind of testing this 980 level here. So, maybe some volume comes in off of this support, but if not, then the trade's dead for now. Yeah, Google's going for 200. Not really an area that I'm super interested in. I would rather trade the all-time high around 202, I think. But maybe a little scalp at 200 would be worthwhile. We'll see. Again, been a good week. No reason to take lower quality trades for me. Netflix is holding 980. Decently. Contracts are kind of cheap here, which is good. NVIDIA is selling off a little bit. Tesla coming down a little bit, 407. I don't think we're getting Netflix anymore. But at least that gave us some time for Tesla and Meta to kind of calm down. Let's see here. NVIDIA still slipping a little bit. I'm surprised. NVIDIA hasn't really. I mean, I guess 2 days ago it had a pretty good move. I guess most things are just kind of selling off a little bit here. Market's kind of rolling over. Seen some profit taken after some of these earnings moves to the upside. Yeah, Tesla 405. I'm not interested to play the downside on Tesla. I mean, there could be a little bit of a gap fill to the bottom side because we did gap from like, I don't know, 388 or whatever it was up to 410. So, about a $12 gap. So maybe there's a trade there, but that's just not really my style. So I'm going to stay away from that. I think it may come down to 400. That's kind of where you would see it hold as support and then bounce. It's kind of where I think it'll do. It moves after first hour on NVIDIA. You're saying NVIDIA typically moves after the first hour? Yeah, so Tesla missed on most of their numbers, I think, on their earnings, but their guidance was good. Just a lot of the positivity for the future was like the main focus there, and that's why it went up. You notice that Tesla slipped hard right when those numbers came out, and then you saw it climb all the way back up and then go through where it closed. That's why earnings are just a total gamble. I mean, I guess maybe so, yeah, Farouk, It's kind of like a sales pitch almost. Tesla 402. AMD at 120. Wow, so that would have been the gap trade. Solid. Right off the open too. So to me, that's kind of hard to catch. Netflix is trying here. You know, look at the volume on my screen. Pretty simple. I'm wanting to see this really start coming up into this area, you know, 30, 40, 50,000 as we're moving up into this high for me to consider it. If not, whatever. What do you mean, Farouk? What do you mean shows it to me? Netflix is trying here, like a huge call made. Yeah, there's Twitter accounts. I use like Cheddar Flow, Unusual Whales. Those are some. Hang on, let me focus here on Netflix. So Netflix is starting to move up pretty aggressively, guys, but the volume to me is just really low. I mean, we're under 10,000 volume. I can't take that trade. But so far, the price out there, volume starting to spike here a little bit. We just made a new high in the day. Market's starting to bounce as well. This is a tough one. Look at the volume. Broke 990, 420 a contract. Geez, volume's there, guys. Netflix can follow through pretty well. It's tough for me to signal it when they just went from 2 to 450. But volume's there, right? I mean, I literally just talked about wanting to see volume like that. I may grab like one contract here. Jesus, this is just going to go. Maybe looking for a retest of 990 here. Market really ripped as well. This is just going to go. 992. I hate the signal this here. This could easily just pull right back, and you know these contracts can lose $100 a contract pretty quickly. Let's just see if we can kind of trickle up here, maybe get a retest on this. That was it, though. The opening range break. I mean, the price action was there. Volume just wasn't. Volume just kind of came out of nowhere on that, which I don't love. But Netflix is a follow-through name, I got to say. When it picks a direction, it's going to go, especially if there's volume on it. All-time high is 999. So, I mean, that's going to be an area of interest for sure. Contracts are a little more expensive. New high. Volume starting to die out a little bit, so you want to see the volume stay up. Let's see here. Not really a wall at 995. Man, if we would have got that like on that opening range break, they were like $3. Now they're already at 5. It's just risky, guys. I think it's okay that we kind of missed this here. I'd consider maybe buying in on a little pullback. Nice TK. NVIDIA under 122. The market did rip with that as well. Volume staying up decent. I mean, it's not crazy high volume at all. There was like a half of a second pullback right there. Watch how these contracts move as well. 6,000 volume on them, though. That's pretty good. Jeez, Miles. That's heavy, dude. Good job. Google at 200 is about to break that. Pulling back into 990 here. This could be an entry. It's tough. I'm just going to grab one. This is super high risk, guys. I honestly don't even recommend it. I'm just going to grab one. They came back from 450 all the way to 350 a contract there, so they lost a lot of value on that pullback. I'm not getting filled. There we go. I got a 370 fill on that. I'd like to see this hold and bounce right back up. High of the day is 994.59. You see how these contracts just move weird and lose value? I'm literally in one, guys, so just consider that. I'm in super, super light. I may add through the high of the day, but to me, the real trade is to try to just be small size and hold it for 1,000 if we can get that. If not, then I just kind of get out of this trade. Probably going to give it to 987. These contracts are now gaining value. Isn't that weird? Under 990 though. I want to see this get back above 990 quickly here. It already broke 200 wide. I wouldn't trade Netflix if I were you. But we'll see what happens here just because you got a smaller account. Trying to get back above 990. There you go. I'm in the green now. These contracts are at 5 at the high of the day, guys. So I want to see this hold above 990 and start moving back to that high of the day. Closed above 990 on that last candle. These contracts are just moving weird. The ask is sitting right there at 990. I want to see the bid get above 990 here. It's about 25 cents off. Once that bid can get above, we can see another volume surge. Then this will get going again. If not, then I may just get out of this, like break even. There we go. Trying to get that bid back above. Bids above, closed above 990. I want to see this go like quickly here. Let's try a 991 here. Struggling a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I think this is a pretty reasonable trade. It's just these contracts, guys, are crazy. That's why I want you to be super, super small size here. I may add one more, if we rip up here to the high of the day. But other than that, I don't know. I would like to see this start moving a lot faster, especially after seeing this kind of movement here. That was the trades. We kind of missed that. That opening range breakthrough, but there was no volume until we got to, up here closer to 990. And then to me, I felt like I was chasing. Back under 990 here. I may just cut this pretty soon. Market's going for new highs. This is just slowing down. Volume's kind of losing. Trump's talking this morning. Okay. Bid and ask are bouncing back up here. There you go. That's a good candle. When Netflix starts moving fast, that's when you know things are going to start happening here. Look, volume just spiked. I want to see this get going here. I think if we can break over 992, we should get some movement here. I'm in the green pretty nicely. 420 a contract here on the ask. 992 almost on the ask on the stock. 991.80. Come on, baby. Just see a new high here. Let's just see a new high. 992 on the ask. The bid's coming up here. Looking for volume here. Nice. 430 a contract. Need volume, guys. There we go. 993 on the ask. Contract's 450. I want to see this go quickly here. I want to see them just rip this right for a high of the day. The market is flying right now. So Netflix, this is its chance to do it. Could take profits here. Already have about $50 a contract, about 15% on this. I'm probably just going to hold here for the new high. I'm probably going to sell on the 995 break, guys, to be honest with you. At least some of it. But very easy spot to just take profits here. Struggling a little bit. Volume hasn't continued to come into this. So this could easily just pull right back down, which is kind of what I'm worried about. But sometimes Netflix is just a slower mover. And in a split second, volume will come into it. NVIDIA recovered well. Market is SPY and NQ are flying, guys. I gotta see Netflix go here, or I'm gonna start getting out of this. Yeah, overall market's flying. I mean, Netflix isn't even moving. Someone just bought 10,000 shares though at 991 a couple of minutes ago. That was the surge here, I think. Come on, I want to see 995 here. Maybe tomorrow's the all-time high move. I don't know, but I think today has a very high chance. I mean, look at SPY and NQ, guys. Netflix needs to get a move on here, or I'm getting out of this. I'm going to give it like one more minute. And we just saw like a 4-candle move on SPY and NQ that just went straight through the highs. Yeah, 10,000 share buy. I'm not really seeing much. I mean, the volume's just low. I mean, that's like my key deciding factor here. And if, we see the market pull back, this might pull back quickly. I do think volume will spike through the new high of the day, though, and through 995. It's kind of the only thing I'm hoping for here. But regardless, we're in the green here, so we'll see. But we need speed on Netflix. If we can get speed on this, the contracts will flip. Crazy. I mean, they're sitting at 450 right now, so they're losing a little bit of value just because this is slowing down. But I'm telling you, if we can get a quick pop to like 997, these will be $5.50, maybe $6 a contract. So to me, it's worth the hold here for just a little bit longer. We're starting to see a red candle on the overall market, though. Seeing volume, but I'm seeing more selling. Someone just bought 9,900 shares. Not seeing any big sells yet. So I'm not seeing anything bad on the tape other than low volume. I'm going to go ahead and trim some of this up. I sold a little bit right there. I'll hold my my last little contract here to see if we can get a rip. This isn't ideal whatsoever. So the market's starting to slow down near its high of the day. So, I mean, that was Netflix's chance, I think. This could happen later in the day today, but I won't be here. But regardless, still, I mean, almost a 20%, 30% trade there. I mean, I can't be too mad, but I thought this could be easy 100% kind of move there. Yeah. I'm kind of disappointed in that. Market's starting to pull back, so I think this is where you're gonna see this thing come back in. Be smart, guys. I might just get out of it. I mean, it's still a small green on them, but I don't think it's worth losing money on. These contracts will be like 350 all the way down at VWAP, maybe even like 320. So I'll be down 15%. Let's see here. If it holds 990 again and we see a volume spike, I'm not opposed to trying the high of the day, but that's kind of the problem you run into, right? Strong market when things pull back in. That's where Netflix can really struggle. What happened to Tesla? They had earnings yesterday, popped it up pretty hard. Looks like it's just profit taking today. Market strong, Tesla's kind of weak. I don't know. I wish I knew. Google's at 201 though, so we might see that 202 break tomorrow. Ideally, it doesn't happen late today because I would like to trade that. There you go, guys. Good stop loss there on Netflix. Market pulled right back in. Bitcoin 106,000. I'll probably stick around for another 15 or so minutes, guys, because then I got to get going. But I made a little bit of money on that. Google looked good. The real trade was this opening range break, and I'm kind of mad at myself I didn't at least just try it. But the volume was like less than 10,000, and then all of a sudden, like 50,000 volume came into it, and it was already up here. So, wow, look at Netflix straight back up. That's a big candle. Market bouncing as well. Might be worth just grabbing one. I don't know. They're 440 a contract now, though. It's my only issue. It may just totally fake us out here. Market bouncing. I think you really just got to see a new high here with volume, and I think it'll go straight to 1,000. If you're willing to risk it, that's just kind of up to you here. I'm considering grabbing one contract if this candle doesn't reject. See, the contracts are $5 now. You see how like they're just a lot more than what we just paid for them. But they could be $1,000 a contract up here. That's the thing. Kind of stalling here at this high of the day, but I honestly don't mind the way that the price action looks. Little rejection there. Market's still pushing up for its highs. Netflix, I mean, it just stalls out. I don't think this is worth it. If it goes go for it, it's gonna go for it. But here's what it is. I think everyone should have been green on that trade if they kind of got in with me and got out. Holding one contract, nice check. I think there's definitely a possibility here. I mean, if you can just see a 995 break, I think that's going to be the trigger for this. And these contracts will flip. So I mean, if you guys have the capital to buy a contract and you can give it a 20% stop loss, then this might be worth it. But if you can't, then there's no reason to. And also, you should try to be buying on a pullback like that rather than up near the high of the day. Also, NQ Inspire pulling back pretty hard here. I think that was a big reason Netflix just got pulled back. Yeah, typically that's where it is for me as well, Duco. Buying in this 998 to 990 zone, isn't terrible. And then you just have stops right under that. And as long as it stays above that zone, you stay in, would kind of be the way that I would frame that trade. Other than that, though, it's just moving pretty sloppy. Maybe tomorrow's the day. And if we get a Netflix all-time high trade on a Friday, guys, I mean, you could see 500% in 2 minutes kind of thing. Market really starting to pull back now. I think that might ruin Netflix here. Netflix is also one of those stocks where if it's like trying to go higher like it is now, and then the market gives up and this gives up some key support, I mean, it could go to low a day in a blink of an eye and just drop another 20 points. You don't want to be bag holding a loss on this. I mean, please don't, especially being out of the money on these contracts. Be smart. NVIDIA 122 here. Take care, Chad. Good to see you here. Yeah, I mean, there's a possibility that we get a Netflix trade tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know where things are going to be by the end of the day, but I would love to catch this trade if we can. Netflix is, it pays if you can catch it for sure. Once again, kind of bouncing here in that zone. Yeah, I mean, a possible trade is buying here and having a stop loss like 987, and then seeing if it'll go all the way through high of the day and maybe even rip closer to 1,000. Risk to reward is there, but there's just a high chance they could lose. And there you go. You know what I mean? Market pulling back. This is pulling back. This might be done for the day. Netflix is typically a stock that I want to see move in the first 15 minutes. I want to be in and out where there's higher volume. Yeah, Tesla's getting crushed here. 390. Jeez, a $10. I didn't even notice that. That's pretty crazy. Netflix still holding though. Meta's holding up near its high of the day. Wow, look at this Meta move here. Opening range break through 700. That would have been a solid trade. It even gave us some time for those contracts to settle out. Dang, man. Let's just go see what that trade would have done. These contracts are still expensive. It would have been a tougher trade. This contract went from like $7 to $8, so $700 or $800 up to about 13, 14. So about 100% move there. Wow, that would have been great. Netflix still trying to hold here. I think it's probably done. It's gonna. I mean, when it gives up, it's gonna just like straight through 985. Probably got about 10 more minutes here, guys, because I got to get going. So if there's any questions or tickers you want me to look at, please throw them my way. If not, um, tiny green day. Not going to complain. It's been a good week overall. I think we did really well at managing risk on this trade. And yeah, we could revisit this tomorrow. That's kind of my thoughts here. So be smart. Yeah. And coin calls. Okay, nice. I know crypto's doing well. So 125. Yeah, I mean, I was long calls the last 2 days on Nvidia, and it just hasn't worked as well as I would have hoped. But I do think that there's a possibility. I mean, I bought the 130s for February 28 expiration, thinking that this would make its move up to 130 and beyond, and it's just kind of struggling here. Market's selling off really hard right now. So, maybe it's a chance to get a dip buy on that. I'm not sure. But yeah. Yeah, I know, Mastermind. Netflix sometimes will take the first 2 hours and then make a move at lunchtime. It's just, if I missed it, I missed it. I don't care. I made a little money. Um, Not nearly as much as I thought was possible. But ideally, this can now just wait for us for tomorrow. I do think that there's a solid trade sitting here for us. I do think this looks good. Today was just not the day. Market's dying, guys. Be careful. Nice, Geo. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, to me, I'm surprised this hasn't recovered, yet. Um, but when we do get up there to that gap at 128, 130, wherever it is, I do think that that's going to be an area you want to be long. You want to be long before that, so you can. You want to be long into that move. That was my idea with these swings, but I made some pretty good money on that, and just I wasn't going to give it back. I just got out of those. Yeah, we'll see. Regardless, I know that I'll have a day trade around that 130 level. So if I don't get a perfect swing on that, I know there's still a trade there. If this does drop more, I mean, I would consider maybe buying the same contracts, maybe a little further out expiration. I think a month is plenty. So we'll see. Tesla 386. That's pretty crazy. Opened at like 410 area. Yeah, I did. Zoom, I put that in the day trader. I signaled that the day trades by Ethan. The contracts are actually still up. They're higher than where I stopped out. So if you're still in, I stopped out around $6 a contract. but that was still green for me because I kind of average into that. I put that in here. So I mean, they're kind of where we entered. Honestly, these contracts gained value, which is pretty crazy. So I don't know if it holds 120. I'm waiting for this to get back above 125. Yeah, earnings are next month. Video 122 call February 14th. I mean, it gives you 2 weeks. 122 is not far out of the money. We're only like 50 cents. I mean, that could work. Again, I can't tell you what to do and give you advice, like financial advice, but it could work. I mean, if you want to try it, then try it. Yeah, if Netflix gives up 980, I think it's gone. So ideally, it can kind of just hang out around this area tomorrow. Ideally, it opens up around 985, 990 tomorrow morning. All right, guys, gonna stick around for about 5 more minutes. Yeah, not a whole lot going on right now. Besides Tesla. Meta was the trade of the day. That would have been the best trade, I think. Soldier, yeah. Did you end up taking that trade? We got out green on that. So hoping you didn't lose. That's what you're getting at here. I talked through the whole thing. I don't know if you were here or not. Nice. Yeah, I mean, look, I think it could have been, if you bought at 370, I mean, this could have gone to, $7, $8 a contract very, very easily. We just didn't get that break at 995 and then up to 1,000. So that was kind of the idea there. So, ended up kind of stopping out for that for green too, which I was happy with. These NVIDIA contracts, guys, are still gaining value. It's weird. But, when and if we can get that trade, maybe tomorrow, through 995 through 1,000, Netflix can move $10, $20 in a matter of a few minutes. And if it does that, especially on a Friday, guys, I mean, we're seeing 2, 3, 400% kind of gains there on those contracts. So that's the only reason I even consider Netflix. And I'm willing to kind of take a risk on some things there with small size, because even if you go in smaller size, you can make a killing. But when I tell that to people, they want to go in super heavy, and then they get crushed, right? Because all it takes is for one of these Netflix trades that has a, a higher chance of just not working out, even if the setup's perfect. And, you can lose at 40-50% quickly. So that's why you can't be too greedy on it, because if you can catch the good trade on it, it's going to pay off beautifully. But if, you get greedy and you try to size way up on it because there's a chance that you could make a couple 100%, that's typically where the odds don't go in your favor and karma comes and gets you. So be smart. I'm probably going to wrap things up here, guys. I'm sorry that it's early, but I got to leave here in about 15 minutes. So y'all have a good rest of the day. The Traders Paradise people, I believe that we're doing a meeting tonight. Other than that, yeah, that's it. My coaching lesson has moved to tomorrow night. It was supposed to be last night and just totally kind of messed that up because we moved it because of the Traders Paradise thing. So anyways, I have my phone and stuff with me today, guys. So if you need me, you know where to find me. Other than that, you all have a good rest of the day. Be smart. It's been a decent week. Don't give anything back. Enjoy the day. I'm out. Later.